Rangers win, baby, 5-3 over the St. Louis Blues. Just making sure I'm recording, but 5-3 over the St. Louis Blues. Am I all too pleased necessarily with the performance? Meh. It was a meh effort tonight. I thought that they played really solid in two of the three periods, in particularly one of the periods. They played, I thought, some of the better hockey. But in terms of uh the second period, nightmare. But I know what people are gonna say as a counterpoint. Well, Evan, you said at the beginning of the year, and you said earlier in the season that it doesn't matter how, it matters how many. So why aren't you following that? And that would be a great counterpoint, is what I'd say. But my counterpoint to your counterpoint would be that you are now over halfway, well over halfway through the season. The season is coming to a close here very quickly. We are approaching the trade deadline. It is what, 2 weeks away? Pretty much 2.5. Yeah, about 2.5 weeks away from now. So yeah, about that whole thing. There's a difference between the beginning of the season where, okay, you're just looking to rack up points. Obviously, that's the objective of the whole season, but at the beginning of the season, you take the wins that aren't necessarily the prettiest because you need those points later on. But for right now, I want to see a better effort from the team night in and night out. And was this a better performance than the Vancouver one? No doubt, 100%. But there were some things that I definitely did not like. In particular, you had some bad turnovers, especially in the second period. You had a really bad turnover. Just poor defensive effort, lazy, pathetic effort all night from some of the guys. But we're gonna dive into it all. Before we do, be sure to leave a like on the video, of course, if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. We can recap every single Ranger game here. I am a die-hard fan, if you couldn't tell by the tattoo, if you couldn't tell by me having a whole channel basically dedicated to this team. I do upload for other teams, uh, in terms of like MLB and stuff, but my MLB team. But that's besides the point. Turn the notifications on if I didn't say that. But yeah, let's dive into this one before I sidetrack even more. But like I said, yeah, uh, 2 out of 3 periods were solid, and in particular, the first period I thought was really good. Despite how the last 5 minutes went, the first 15 minutes was pretty much all Rangers. Honestly, they had control for most of the play, especially the first line. The first line was absolutely rolling most of the night. Well, pretty much the whole night actually, but they were rolling for sure. And yeah, they had some good chances early. You have Dryden Hunt on, I think it was a 2-on-1 there. And he decides to try to pass it to Reinstrom, even though there was no passing lane. He should have just shot the puck. Doesn't. Trouba had a wide open lane too to shoot before that. He doesn't even attempt the shot there. He just passes. Too much passing going around at certain points. And Lafreniere, though, ends up finding himself on the score sheet on a good rebound. Adam Fox gets the apple there. But yeah, he picks up a loose puck and buries that one. And Lafreniere, he is heating up. And despite what you want to say, oh, it was a tap and goal on an open net. Uh, yeah, but if you watch the rest of the game, you know that he did way more than that despite not showing up on the score sheet. He was all over the ice. He was just playmaking like an animal, and he was just all over the Blues all night. And I thought he had a really great effort once again. And we're finally seeing what we drafted first overall to be. By the way, have more points than that guy that he replaced, by the way, that's on the St. Louis Blues now. But that's besides the point. But other than that, the Rangers played pretty solid until the last 5 minutes where the St. Louis Blues got way too much pressure going, and it did not end pretty whatsoever. Thankfully, we were able to keep the Blues off of the scoreboard. And yeah, you go up 1-0 going into the first intermission. Everything seems pretty dang good so far at that point. And then the second period, well, first shot periods were 9-8, by the way. Second period, sorry, need water there, but second period, uh, yeah, the second period was not pretty at all. The Rangers had some decent chances, but nothing too great. There was one really good shift by the fourth line that I remember. Well, it started with the second line, ended up being, or it was the fourth line to the second line, or the second line to the fourth line. But either way, they kept the puck in the zone. They were moving the puck like crazy. Reeves throwing big hits, making big plays. Kevin Rooney ended up getting high sticks at some point in that second period, and we would not see him return for the rest of the game, or that might have been in the first period even. But regardless, he ended up getting hurt, and that is very concerning considering not only does Kevin Rooney kill penalties, but he is one of the valuable depth pieces on this team. So it's very concerning now that Kevin Rooney is hurt, and if he's out for some long period of time, this is gonna if this doesn't force the Rangers to make a move, I don't know what will, outside of like every single player getting hurt, because right now, you have Greg McKegg as a regular, and at that point, what, Morgan Barron? I don't hate him as a regular, but still, your team is just looking way too weak. And the team has just been so different. And for the people that call Kakko a bust, I said this to my friend today at the game. The team has sure not looked the same since he went down with that injury. The team has looked way worse, way worse. And we've been sitting here talking about some bad hockey ever since he got hurt. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, then you have at some point Keandre Miller with a brutal turnover, and then Pavel Buchnevich gets a breakaway, and you throw your arms up and you say, here it is, he's gonna score, but he doesn't. Igor Shesterkin with one of the best saves we've seen from him, and that says a lot considering how much of a highlight reel he is in general and how many great saves he always makes. So that said a lot, but he made a great save. The Garden was loud for him with the Igor chance, and he keeps it at a 1-0 game. And then Ryan Strome late in the period gets a goal from Panarin and Trouba. Very similar to the goal he scored against Vancouver, where it was just kind of in front of the net. And I think Barbashev didn't really help contribute there for the Blues. And yeah, Strome ends up picking a loose puck up, and the Rangers go up 2-0, and you like it. And it's somewhat near the end of the period, so you're like, okay, so wasn't the best period necessarily, but we're going into the intermission up 2-0. Still pretty good. But then all of a sudden, you got flashbacks to Alain Vigneault hockey. By the way, Trouba got the assist there as well. But you have flashbacks to AV hockey. Ryan O'Reilly scores from Brandon Saad, who I met after the game, by the way. And David Perron. And that goal, I believe, was the one where just piss poor defensive effort from Fox and Lindgren, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that was just piss poor effort, especially by Fox. Both of them got lazy either way. Terrible goal to let up. And all of a sudden, it's 2-1. And not too long after, the St. Louis Blues tie the game at 2. Barbashev scores from Kyrou. And this is one where the defense was just nowhere to be found, and Barbashev was just left all alone. He snipes one, a pretty snipe, I can't lie, on Igor Shesterkin, and all of a sudden it is tied at 2. And then after that, Perron scores from O'Reilly and Parayko, and this is one where Fox and Lindgren, this is just inexcusable play, especially from Fox. Just lazy, such lazy defense there, and it's concerning. And I'm still really wondering if the injury is worse than we thought it was initially, considering how different he has been since he's got hurt. He's just not been the same player. There's no sugarcoating it. But yeah, all of a sudden the Rangers are down now 3-2, and shots on goal during that 10-7 in favor of the Blues after that period. So the third period comes around, and the Rangers definitely looked a lot better. You had more back and forth hockey for the beginning, and all of a sudden the Rangers just came out of nowhere, and a chance ends up happening. Strome and Hunt have a pretty good opportunity. They miss on it, but the puck goes loose, and who other than Patrick Nemeth, the St. Louis Blues, allowed to go to Patrick Nemeth. Fooled your franchise right there. He gets it open, that fires it home, and the Rangers tie this game at 3, and then not too long after, the Rangers go on a power play. Strome and Hunt, by the way, got the assist there. But Rangers go on a power play not too long after. I believe this was a delay game penalty. And then Chris Kreider, you thought he disappeared? Well, you thought wrong, so shut your mouth. Fox fires a shot. He tips it in. Panarin will also pick up an assist on this. And the Rangers all of a sudden have a 4-3 lead. and the Rangers just kept going. They kept putting the pressure on, and you had a pretty good feeling that they were going to win this game. You have Shen fighting Trouba also after Trouba with a huge monster hit on Kyrou, I believe it was. And then Shen fights him. And then at the end of this one, a dumb penalty from Ryan Reaves. I think that might have been earlier in the game, but there was a bad penalty there as well. Blues don't capitalize on their power play. Great kill there. And then Artemi Panarin from Adam Fox with the empty net goal. And the Rangers get the dagger there and ends up being 5-3. Barclay Goodrow did miss an open net though at the end there. So yeah, they could have made it 6-3, but at the end of the day, I won't complain. They did win this hockey game. Shots on goal for that period were 14-13 in favor of the Rangers. Shots on goal in total for the game, 32-29 in favor of St. Louis. Face-off percentage, 67-33 in favor of St. Louis. Yikes. Hits 25-24 in favor of St. Louis. Blocked shots, 23-6 in favor of the Rangers, and 5 giveaways apiece. So each individual line, the first line of Lafreniere, Zibanejad, and Kreider, they're just the most consistent line right now for this team, and they're the only ones that are showing up night in and night out. I can't say enough good things, especially about Lafreniere. I would have liked to have seen him get more ice time, especially get power play 1 minutes, but yeah, I definitely like what I'm seeing from them, especially Lafreniere. So yeah, not more I could say with that line. Zibanejad doesn't get a point, but he had a solid game. Lafreniere, I talked about him earlier, and then Kreider, he's been consistent all year. Even when he doesn't score, he still looks good in these games. There's only been a couple games where he's looked invisible. Second line of Panarin, Strome, and Hunt. Meh. They were better than they've been recently, but nothing too spectacular. At the same time, they've been getting some lucky goals lately, but I mean, hey, I'll take it. You take those. But I'd like to see a little bit more consistency from them. Third line of McKegg, Chytil, and Gauthier. Chytil actually looks pretty solid for his first game in quite a while. McKegg, same old story with him. Gauthier, he looked okay, but he just does the same move where he speeds to the net and shoots a glove side. But they were definitely the worst line. And then either way, the lines had to be juggled because the fourth line of what is usually Kevin Rooney, Barclay Goodrow, Ryan Reaves. Rooney, like I said, got hurt pretty somewhat early in this game. But Reaves and Goodrow, I thought, had a pretty solid game as well. Barclay Goodrow, he was like the only one to back check on one of the goals. So, yeah, there's that one. But for the defense, Lindgren and Fox, offensively, Fox was good. Defensively, both of them liabilities, and it's been that way as of lately. Very concerning, I can't lie. So hopefully they could pick it up, though. And it was funny because I was going to compliment them tonight, and I was saying that to myself, and then all of a sudden, the meltdown happens. Miller and Trouba, same old song and dance with them, where they're good offensively, suck defensively, especially that Miller turnover, and then leaving Barbashev just wide open. I mean, wide open for a play there. And the best defensive pair, believe it or not, was Nemeth and Schneider. And Nemeth actually had a pretty solid game, believe it or not. By making a couple of dumb plays that I remember. But Schneider was definitely the best defenseman of the night. And Igor, he had a solid night. Maybe the Barbashev goal, you'd like to have him save. Other than that, pretty solid there from him. As always, though. As always. But let's get to Twitter tonight, as I am tired here. Flip NYR says, thoughts on the defense tonight? I thought that they were very lazy at times. In the third period, you saw a lot of urgency, though, from them, especially on the penalty kill. They looked really, really solid on that last one. And I thought that they were okay, but they could have been a lot better. And Arteta's thoughts after the third St. Louis goal. Just like everyone in the building. Boo! New York Style 24. I was wrong. I thought we were going to lose, but hey, I'll take being wrong here. Let's go Rangers. Yeah, that's all you can hope for. If you're negative, you just hope that you're wrong. But yeah, that's really about it. for this one. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Like I said, of course, if you are Ranger fans, turn notifications on, and I will see you guys in